Welcome back, guys. Now, a lot of the videos for Challenge Sahara so far have been about my training, but I still feel there's a lot of preparation to be done. So I thought there's nothing better than to get out and meet a couple of people who have done something very similar. Let's go meet him, eh? So guys, while I was here at Darien House, I actually bumped into Miriam, who's done the Sahara before. And I think, speaking to her, it's been pretty much the same route, hasn't it?
Yes, I think we're doing the same route. So we start out in Ouarzazate and then just head off into the desert for 100 kilometres. So.
That's going to be my life, the best part of March. So yeah, we were chatting before. What are the main things that I need to consider in my training and preparation?
Probably the best training tip that I had was to put ankle weights loosely around your feet to sort of simulate the feeling of walking through sand. So they hang down on the top of your foot rather than being tight around your ankles. And then just get used to drinking a lot of water.
Really?
Yes. Yeah. One day I think I drunk 11 litres of water one day.
Wow. So that's like 11 massive bottles of water.
Yes, I refilled the camelbacks several times, and it was an intense day. That was the day we went over Shagaga, so the big, huge sand dunes, really hot. It was about 40 degrees, and you've just got to keep it going in.
Wow, so 11 litres, and I'm kicking a ball, so maybe I might need double that. That's really good to know, actually.
Yeah, it's hard to force yourself to drink that much, especially drinking on the go. It's going to be a lot for you to juggle. The ball, drinking, walking, all of it, you know.
Yeah. I mean, luckily, I can maybe balance the ball on my neck, have a drink, and carry on. The guys will have a lot of work. They'll be passing me drink here, there, and everywhere. The terrain's going to be tough, isn't it?
It's not as bad as you think. It is quite mixed terrain. Some days it is quite rocky, other days you're going through the massive dunes. The last day you get to go over like the salt flats, which is really cool. It's really hot, but yeah, it's totally different terrain every day.
So I've been training at Lytham. It's obviously close by, and I felt that you know, there's a bit of wind from time to time. The dunes are quite steep. Do you think I'm on the right lines training there?
Absolutely. The main thing is just getting out and practicing walking in sand or simulating sand, and yeah, you'll love it.
Any tips on footwear? Because that's going to be a big thing for me. Obviously, I've got to kick a ball, so I've got to get a happy medium between probably a walking shoe and like a football shoe, I guess.
Yeah, you're going to have the combination there. I used walking boots. Probably the most important thing when it comes to footwear is to make sure that you have ankle gaiters on to keep the sand out your boots. The people who had foot problems were the ones who didn't have those, and they got blisters from the sand getting in between their socks. And then also at night, when you finish, make sure you put your socks over the top of your boots to keep any spiders or scorpions or nasties out.
That scares me. I actually don't like spiders.
It'll be fine. We didn't see any, but
I hope so.
We were very careful about making sure the boots were sealed just in case.
That's such good advice. Miriam, thank you so much. That's going to be like huge help for me. We've got a few weeks to go, but I think, yeah, that's going to help an awful lot. Thank you.
I'm very jealous. You're going to just...
She's going to show us pictures, aren't you? So, yeah, so we can actually visualise the challenge and how it's going to work.
It's incredible. You will see more stars than you've ever seen in your entire life. Just sleeping outside the tent every night was the best part of the experience to me. The sunsets. Oh, my goodness. I'm kind of jealous. I want to go back.
Thanks so much, Miriam. Cheers. Okay, I'm here with Matt from Tower Digital Marketing, who's completed an ultra marathon across the desert, which is a lot further than I'll be travelling. So I feel like I'm in the right hands to get some advice, Matt.
Well, we'll give it a go. See if I can help you.
Tell me about your experiences running across the desert in these conditions that I'll have to be getting used to.
It's hot. I think the first thing is making sure you've got your hydration right. Make sure you're fueling properly, and that means eating regularly. You know, small amounts, salty foods, as much as you can. You know, you'll drain out there a hell of a lot. And I used a lot of sodium and electrolyte sachets while I was out there. So I generally had a race pack on, which had half a litre of just water and half a litre of the electrolyte solution. That seemed to work for me because every 10k we had a checkpoint that we could refill the water bottles and things. Sometimes I would say don't overdrink as well. There was a great safety officer out there who decided to tell us all the time that, you know, you can overdrink and you can overhydrate, so make sure you don't do that as well.
Yeah, so maybe not stick to just water, like make sure that the electrolytes and I guess the salty stuff goes into your body as well. That's key. Because at the minute I've been training a lot with just water, but obviously it's a different ball game out there, isn't it? You sweat so much more. I think another thing that I'm really looking at, and obviously I'm going to be kicking a ball in the air, So footwear is everything, and I've obviously used quite a few different styles of footwear, like running trainers. That's my preference, but do you think that'll be all right while I'm out there?
Yeah, I think you've got to have something with a hard sole on it. One of the things I read before I went out there was that, you know, if you've got a softer sole on it, it'll potentially melt, because although the air's warm, the ground is really hot. The other things to bear in mind is you're doing a hell of a distance in that, and if you get sand in there, if you get any sort of debris in there, get it out straight away. If you start getting a hot spot, make sure you stop and do it, because your blisters won't just be like blisters when you're walking around or having a run through the park. There'll be serious blisters that can cause you some real damage. One of the things I got told on one of the training weekends before we went out there was to sort of get a liner sock. So I used a pair of Injinji socks, which are like liners, but they're like gloves for your feet, so they go around your toes and stuff. We had a liner sock in there, and then over the top I'd have an ultramarathon sock. So it helped sort of reduce the friction on your foot. I got a couple of blisters, but nothing as bad as some of the other guys that were out there, where they were having to drain the blisters and things. And I'm still trying to grow back some toenails as well, so mind that you lose a few of them.
No, I'll be noting all this down after we've met and chatted, because there's a lot of information that I didn't know, especially the socks. Like that's everything, isn't it? You know, the last thing you want to be doing is thinking about blister. It must be horrendous. It's always been important to me is like recovery, because we're going to be going for 8 days. Hopefully we want to get the 100k done within the 8 days, but sleeping, you know, at night obviously will be intense and stuff. Was it the same for you? And like, how did it affect your sleep when you're out there?
Some nights were really uncomfortable. You're just on like a mat on the floor in the Bedouin tents. And then the last 2 nights we had what I would describe now as the most uncomfortable beds in the world, but they were so comfy, it was crazy while you were out there. I think recovery, what we did, we made sure that as soon as you got back, within 15 minutes you had a protein shake. Make sure that before you even sit down, you start making your food. Okay. Because you're out for such a long period of time, you get back and you're like, oh, I can't be arsed. Yeah. I'll be all right. I'll be fine. Yeah. But actually, doing a half marathon or 16k trek out in the UK and then just having the day off the day after, it's completely different to having to go one day next to the other, after the other, after the other. Really, really takes its toll on your body. So the recovery phase is vitally important.
Thanks so much, Matt. It's a huge help, because this is all new to me. I mean, I've done a few endurance challenges, but nothing on the sand, nothing in this heat, and you know, I'll be a lot out of my comfort zone. I mean, I am in my training, but I heard a great thing from Ross Edgley the other day when he did the swim round Great Britain. I mean, it's just madness. But someone was asking him about his preparation, and he said you can only really prepare so much, and you learn on the way, don't you? Which is, it's not like you're taking the approach of not preparing, but I think it's important to just have that mindset of like, let's just get and do it.
When you've got an outlook on life like that, that's what life's about. You know, we're all on a journey. We've all got to learn it as we're going. And actually, if you've got the mental capability, it's awesome to test yourself. I mean, on the first day of the Wadi Rum, I had food poisoning, and I pretty much collapsed on 35k. I got into the Land Rover, and I was done. I'd hit my limit. I knew it. And then a mate of mine came round who I'd gone out there with, and he basically told me that I had to get out the car and I had to just carry on. And I found that really, really amazing. That moment where you just sat there and you're like, you know what, I can't do it anymore. I'm completely gone. It's the first time in ever that I've ever got to that point where I'm like, I can't do this. Properly, I can't do this, not just trying to pretend to myself. But yeah, I think that, you know, like you said, you can't prepare for that. Things happen in life, in adventures, in endurance events, that you just have to find a way through it, and you just have to find a way to get going again.
It relates to all parts of your life, doesn't it? Because life is a challenge. There's a lot of stuff goes on you've got to do with it. I know that's personally why I do these challenges, is because it's like part of my work, but like deep down I do them anyway. Thanks so much, mate. It's massive help, seriously. Thank you. So there you have it. So cool to meet Miriam and Matt. There's a lot of advice in there that I didn't even consider. I think taking a trowel with me for the toilet, that's a big thing. Don't want to be like, go in the toilet while anyway, I'll leave that to your imagination. Guys, thank you for watching. If you like this video, drop us a like, leave us a comment, and make sure you spread the word about this challenge, raising money for such a fantastic cause, Derry and House. See you soon.